Good morning, River Chase. Welcome again to my home. You are now in our dining area. Happy Thursday. Last Tuesday, we went to the park to enjoy the beautiful sunshine. It was gorgeous out. I love this season. It's not too hot yet to exercise outside, to go for a nice long walk, and still wear comfortable pants and shirts. Maggie wore a pair of shorts because it was 80 degrees and she could. Later that night, I talked with some friends in Michigan who told us how cold it was there right now. And I felt a little bit guilty as I shared that Maggie may have gotten a sunburn, just a little bit. I know that this season won't last long, not for us. It'll be 105 degrees before we know it, and Jason will have to go outside at 8 a.m. to mow the grass because if he waited any longer, he would end up with a heat stroke. Some of you love that 105 degree weather. I am a cold weather girl. Most people we know go somewhere warm on vacation, and we head for the snow. I know that this weather will change too. I know that these circumstances will change. Life changes. It is inevitable. Right now, I am a 43-year-old wife, mom of a precious 13-year-old young lady, and I drive a minivan. 15 years ago, I was a young wife, broken with grief over infertility, and I drove an SUV swearing that I would never drive a minivan. 30 years ago, I was a less than precious 13-year-old girl who hated doing her homework, and I drove a Schwinn. We have all experienced the changing of seasons, ages, finances, health. Some have wisdom crowns of gray hair to prove it. Today is tomorrow's memory. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens." Now, before writing this devotional, I never really thought about how that verse ends. I always thought the season for everything, for every activity on earth. But the chapter goes on, and the chapter goes on to list all these activities that happened, but I never really thought about how it ended under the heavens. It talks about birth, death, planting, harvest, killing, healing, tearing down and building up, a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, it says embrace, a time to hug, to embrace, and a time not to embrace, which is very similar to right now. It's a time not to embrace, and I miss your hugs. A time to look for something and a time to lose it. A time to keep something and a time to throw it away. A time to tear and a time to sow. A time to stay quiet and a time to speak up. A time to love and a time to have enemies. A time for war and a time for peace. But it's that first verse, every activity under the heavens, gives us this huge list of examples. So every activity on earth is bound to change. We know that just from experiencing life, but we know that it's true. It's in the Bible. And we are not guaranteed happiness. We're not guaranteed sadness. These events happen to all people, righteous and sinner. We have only today, this moment, to draw close to our Creator, so that when we are in the season of death, we are already in His arms. Heaven does not wax and wane like these seasons, like our seasons. It's not temporary. It does not have bad with the good. It is only always good. Eternity is not a season. Whatever season you're in right now is not forever. This will all blow away with the breeze from the clock hands. This too shall pass. this pandemic, this recession, this season shall pass. And we will find ourselves in new seasons. These fluctuations will bring new people into our lives and take others away. We will face something new tomorrow, guaranteed. One day, this too shall pass. We will pass into eternity, into the presence of God who never changes, who always has been and always will be. He is our hope and our peace and our only constant. He is our only constant. Eternity is not a season. Church, it feels like it's been a year since we gathered and worshiped together. It's easy to say it feels like an eternity, but I know just from reading these verses, it is not. It's just temporary. I miss your hugs and your jokes and your encouragement. How wonderful that when this season is over, when all of our seasons are over, we have eternity to pass into. I love you and I miss you, church, and I hope that we get to see each other soon. Bye.